Hello and welcome back to the Get Ready With Me podcast. This is episode 2. I am so freaking excited. Thank you for all the people that watched episode 1 and thank you for the people that commented. Those comments mean the world to me because I know you guys are enjoying what we're doing. Today we're going to be talking about manifestation and manifesting everything you want in your life. That could be, meeting somebody or getting a certain job or getting a certain car or getting anything that you want in your life. Law of attraction and how everything that you think about becomes a reality. That could be positive, that could be negative. Okay, so I'm gonna look a little crazy with this pins because I don't know where to put my bangs, so that's why I didn't do the intro with them. But we're just gonna have to look crazy for a little bit while we get ready. Okay guys, I did my brows already because you guys saw all I do is brush them up with this NYX glue brow. Oh, sorry. With this NYX brow glue. I absolutely love this stuff. I also love this one, but I feel like get rid of this in like 1 month, and this is like $7, $7 to $10, I'm not sure, and this is a lot more. So I don't know, I love them both. Let's get into this face. I'm gonna start off by putting this face gloss. I'm looking for a really good primer. I actually know which one I want to get. It was like trending on TikTok, so when something's trending on TikTok, it's gonna be sold out for like several days. So I'm just applying this all over my face. Before, I was so attached to this like personal dream that I had, what I was like dreaming of. Like if it didn't involve what I was dreaming of, like I just closed off and I didn't want to do it, or I thought like, oh my god, this is not part of my journey, and I was just so attached to like a specific dream. And I think that was like blocking me from a lot of blessings. And as soon as I decided to let go and let God just take over my life, and by that I mean not forcing anything. Like if something wasn't happening, or if there's something that, wasn't working out, I wouldn't feel bad about it, or I wouldn't question myself like, why is this happening to me? Am I really, when you start just like questioning yourself and like doubting that you can do whatever you want to do. So whenever I decided to do that, whenever I decided to really let God take over, whatever has to happen in my life, it will, and trusting that and having faith in that, that's when things started revealing to me in my life. I'm just gonna be carving up my brow with the Hourglass concealer. I love this concealer. So yeah, whenever I decided, God, at this point, I really surrendered to whatever has to happen in my life. And the thing is that sometimes you might think you know what you want in your life, but if it's not in God's plans and if it's not really what's supposed to happen in your life, it's not gonna happen. Sometimes, it does happen, but it might not fulfill you at the end of the day. Like even if you become like super successful, if it's not meant for you in your life, because guys, we're human, we are capable of doing anything we set our minds to. That's exactly my point. Even if you're successful, listen to your intuition, listen to your inner thoughts, and listen to whatever you know it's right for your life. So when I decided to like let go and let God just literally take the wheel, and I'm like, God, if my dreams are not in your plans, please just guide me to where I'm supposed to be and what's gonna make me truly happy and what I came into this world to do, like I'm here to serve you. Okay, after I have carved my brows, I'll go in with a little beauty blender. So when that happened, a lot of people started leaving my life, and sometimes I would get scared, and sometimes I'd be like, I'm messing up. And obviously I'm not perfect, and you make mistakes and you go through things and learning curves or whatever, but there's going to be people that are going to leave your life just because they're not meant to be in your life anymore. And it's really hard. Like change is really just scary because you don't know what to expect. This journey, you're going to have to learn how to embrace change. And that's something I'm like reminding myself now, because even though I'm growing and I'm obviously not the same person I used to be, change is super scary to me still. And but I'll do it. Like, even though it's scary, like, I'm like, I know it's good. And if we're not changing, we're not like moving. A lot of things started changing in my life when I decided to just let go and let God. And I was here for it. Like, it was crazy, and obviously I was fearful at some points, but I just knew that he knew what I came into this world to do. I'm going in with like a brown eyeshadow, and I'm just going to place that in the inner corner of my eye. That's where I'm going to focus it the most. I think I manifested my life ever since I was super little. I've always been an outcast because I've always dreamed really, really big. Like, my dreams and goals and aspirations are not very little. And, my mom, I feel like she always wanted to keep me like grounded, be realistic. Just always thought like my dreams were just so far and they were unrealistic. And even though I would keep dreaming big and I would keep, my dreams like alive, I would always have that in the back of my head, like maybe I am crazy. But at the same time, I always like, this made no sense to me. And I thank my dad so much for this because he always told me, like, if somebody else did it, you can do it. And that just replays on my head all the time. And I think I said that on my first episode, but it's really true. I love my sister and I know she loves me, but she would always tell me, like, I think you're born in the wrong family. Like, jokingly, not in a mean way. But that would stay in the back of my head, like, like, are my dreams really that like unreachable? Am I really that crazy? Am I really that crazy? But no. I mean, now, like, that we're all learning about mindset and how big of an impact the people that you grow up with, that you were raised with, makes in your life. Actually, I was right. And you do have to dream big, and you can't have any limitations, because limitations are just a creation of the world, of somebody's beliefs, of somebody else's beliefs. So that's a limiting mindset. When you realize that we're created by something way bigger, like when you understand that we've been created by something a lot bigger than whatever we could imagine, why is there limits? Why can't you get something that's available to us? We're all worthy of anything that you want in your life. And also, very important, a very, very important point that was made to me, but by I don't know who. Happiness and success, it looks different for every single person. So my dreams and my aspirations are not going to be the same than somebody else's dreams and aspirations, and you have to be okay with that, because you can't compare your journey to anybody else's, even if there's somebody that are in the same business. Let me rewind. It's important for you not to compare your journey, but I also was talking about how happiness and success does not look the same for everybody, and it really doesn't. And somebody else's major goal is not going to be the same as yours, and that's why you can't compare your journey, because everybody has a different goal and a different idea of what happiness looks like for them. That's very personal. I think, like, now with social media, it can get very easy to compare everything and compare your dreams and goals, and sometimes you think, like, that's going to make me happy, and then you reach that and you realize that maybe that wasn't meant for you specifically, because now we have social media and we're looking at how everybody else's journey is like going a certain way, and sometimes we question, like, oh my god, maybe I'm not made for this, maybe I'm supposed to be doing something else. But when in reality is that maybe that person went through what you're going through at the beginning of their journey, and you're just looking at what it looks like 6 7 years later when it's already booming and amazing, and you're barely getting started. Like, you cannot compare your journey to anybody's journey, period. I'm gonna talk about like personal experience because I feel like I don't want to sound like I'm giving like so much advice. Guys, by no means I'm not a psychologist. So I started, living my life, working hard, and I promised myself that anything that I was going to do, I was going to do it to the best of my abilities, because that's the only way to actually be successful, is just really giving it your all and doing it to the best of your abilities, because if that's happening in your life is for a reason, and there's something that you need to learn from that specific thing. So might as well take advantage and see what you learn from it. And if you're not putting your full on effort, then you're not learning and you're not growing. So what's the point of that? I'm a bold lip today, and I just want to do like my face makeup really nice. Love wetting my angled brush with some setting spray before doing my wings so it could be nice and sharp. This is where the tape becomes magical, because you can do the most perfect little wing, do your thing, and let the things flow. It's not going to look amazing all the time. It's not going to look wonderful, but if you have faith that everything happens in your life for a reason and that God is really taking over, then there's nothing to worry about. Liner is done. Look how crispy this liner looks. Yes. And then we're gonna do the bottom lash line to connect them both and make them blend. Now I'm gonna be using the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. Something I kept hearing is that even though you think about your dreams, you think about your goals, you need to pray about them and talk to God like if it was a friend, and say it out loud. Tell the universe what is it that you want. I read the 4 agreements right when I left high school, and I love one of the main things that they talk about is you know how important the word is. Everything that comes out of your mouth impact people in certain ways, so you have to make sure that you're very mindful with the way you talk. You're very mindful with the way you talk about, talk about others, talk to others. If there's one thing I've learned, that karma is a biatch. I need to get a little standing mirror, and I'm learning along the way, because I got this huge mirror thinking I'll be like, with the camera there and doing my makeup. Impossible. So manifesting and expressing to earth, to the world, what is it that you want, and writing it down, making vision boards, all of that is so important, guys. One of my manifesting stories that I love to tell, I love to remind myself of this, because it was really crazy, and it was the first thing that manifested for me, in the unattainable dreams that I had, or goals, or whatever. When I was 16, I started working in my first job, and I would wake up at 6 in the morning to take the bus to South Beach. And if you're from Miami, you understand that the Miami bus system sucks. It's the worst public transportation ever. I don't know how it's now, but that's how it used to be. And so I would have to wake up super early. Guys, sometimes I'd be waiting for the bus, and the bus would just not even stop, even if I'm like, please stop. Sometimes I would be waiting for 2 hours and the bus just would drive by me, and I would have to end up Ubering to my job, so I wasn't late. Okay, anyways, it was a hassle going to work. And so I decided to get my first car. It was a Mitsubishi Galant 2012, and it was leather seats. It had a sunroof and it had everything I wanted. Like loud speakers. I love something I something that's super important for me is the honk of the car. Like if it honks like beep, like I don't like that. Like I it has to be like beep, like a crazy honk. And that car had the best honk ever. I took it to New York. It'd been my car forever because I'm like, the day I get my new car, it has to be a car that I really, really want. Because what's the point of getting like, I don't know, a newer version car that had no sunroof or no leather seats? Like, for that, I might as well just stay with my little Mitsubishi and have a luxury feel, even if it's an older car, because I love the fact that it has those things. So I stayed with the car for about 6 years and a half. So I stayed with that car until I was ready to make a commitment and get a new car and the car that I wanted. So I really wanted a Mercedes Benz ever since, like, oh my god, like I've been wanting the Mercedes Benz since the old model. Manifested that car to the T. Like it got to a point where every day that I would drive the other car, I would be like, I'm driving a Mercedes. So it was my turn to get it. And guys, the first day I drove to my job in that car, I was literally crying because I'm like, I can't believe it became a reality. I like using the same beauty blender, but I obviously do like my concealer first because it's lighter. So that was a little manifestation that happened to me. And then just little things have happened so much that I'm like, I can't, like, I literally created this for myself and I can't believe that this is happening to me. Going in with the Bobbi Brown cream blush, and now I'm just like, I'm gonna manifest everything. Like whenever I want something, I envision myself there already. I envision it like if I already had it, and I act like I already have it. Like remember that your thoughts are energy, and so if you're already thinking, your brain doesn't know if what you're thinking or dreaming of is in real life or it's imagination. So that's why it's so important for you to think as of like you already have it, like it already happened, like you already have it, it's already created. I'm gonna be setting my face the Laura Mercier translucent powder. So I'm just gonna be patting this in my under eyes. Super important part of this journey is trusting your intuition, trusting your inner gut, because that is your inner godly self just telling you what's best for you in your life. It's been really hard. I mean, because I was so afraid of making mistakes, which is the stupidest thing you could ever be afraid of. We have to understand that failure is an important part of our journey. So keep thinking that, because everybody fails at some point or another, and it's important to, it's not about how many times you fall, it's how many times you get up and how you get up and what you learned from that time you did fall. Challenging because, sometimes you're like, oh my God, is that the right move? Like, do I really know what's the best for me in my life? But you really do. It's your life. Like, just trust your gut. Trust that whatever is about to happen is just part of your journey. Remember when I moved back to Miami from New York, I was working at Christian Louboutin, and I knew it in my gut that that wasn't the place I was supposed to be. Like, it was the place where I was supposed to be, like, as soon as I moved to Miami, because I'm like, I even traveled to Miami months before to make and went around to look for a job because I just wanted to be stable and I wanted to make sure that, I was financially stable. So, it was meant for me to like come to Miami with that job. but I wasn't meant to stay in that job. And I realized it 2 months into the job that I was really unhappy, but I didn't know where my life was going to go. And I was super scared. And I was like, fuck, like, I need a good job that, pays me good, but I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. But I know in my heart that I'm not supposed to be in here. But I trusted my gut and trusted my inner godly voice that was telling me, you have to get out of there, and you have to trust that, you're going to have the resources to be stable while you get a new job. And so, whatever. I ended up leaving the job. I was freaking out the day I quit because I was super grateful for the experience and I was super grateful to be in that place, but I was ready to go. When I left, I started working as a social media manager for a mortgage company that my fiance was working for, and the guy was just super nice, and you know he gave me the job, and I worked hard. I edited videos, I transformed their Instagram, but I also hadn't been a social media manager ever, but I was learning, and I love social media. I do social media, so I had knowledge about it. And I started working there. At the same time, I had already decided to do lashes because as soon as I decided to leave the other job, I was talking to my family and I was like, hey, like, I don't know what to do. And my sister was the one that gave me the idea of doing lashes. And so I was working as a social media manager, doing the lash things. I started doing lashes from my house, and that was super, super challenging. Keep in mind, I wasn't winning a lot, but I was happy to be outside of the place that I knew I wasn't supposed to be in. So nothing. I just went with the flow, trusted the journey, and then I was like, okay, I'm making the same mistakes at home. I need to learn from somebody. So I printed like 30 of my resumes and I went to every lash salon in Miami. And I had seen, the girl that I'm working with now. And I just loved everything she stands for. And I loved her mentality. And she was exactly where I was trying to be and the environment that I was trying to have. So I had gone to her salon. She wasn't hiring anybody. This is another story of manifestation and really. So I go into the salon, and the girls that were working for her at the time, they were like, hey, we're not hiring anybody. You're more than welcome to leave your resume, but she's not hiring any lash techs at the moment. And they're like, she might be looking for a personal assistant. So I was like, yes, anything. Like, here's my resume. Like, I just want to work with somebody that had that mentality, and I just wanted to be around that energy of like woman empowerment and hardworking women and like just amazing women. So whatever, I left my resume. A week later, I didn't get a call back. I got a call back from one place, and then I didn't get a call back from Lana. So I went back and I left my resume again, and they were like, okay, thank you. Like, she's still not looking for anybody, but we'll let you know. We'll keep you updated. 2 months later, I'm going to Puerto Rico. I'm trying to look fly, and I see that her sister does bomb brows. I was really just looking to get my brows done. I went to get my brows done, and I did a little video for TikTok, and it got so many views, and she got a lot of clientele. So she's like, Diana, come back. I'll do your brows for free because I got so much clients, as a thank you. And I was like, of course, like the fact that people loved watching my experience. I'm like, of course, like I'll go again. And I made sure like I went looking cute to like do a vlog for TikTok. And so we were doing content in the content room, like of the results, and Alana walks in. She ended up like telling me, I like your outfit or something, and I was like, thank you, I follow you on TikTok, I love all your tips and tricks because I do lashes and they're really helpful, thank you for those videos. And she's like, there's no way you do you do lashes. And I was like, yes. And she's like, I want to hire somebody that does lashes and social media because I want to bring more content to my social media platform. And so I was like, amazing. So she ended up hiring me on the spot. And, I told her, like, hey, I came 2 months ago to leave my resume and you weren't hiring anybody and now you are. And she's like, there's no way, that's you, that's crazy. And it was crazy to me because I really had manifested working with her because I just really wanted to be in that like environment with like people that thought the way I wanted to think. Walk out of the salon that day and I start bawling. I was crying so much because I'm like, I can't believe I created this for myself. I can't believe I'm gonna work with her. Lining my lips with this Morphe Huva liner. It's like a little bit red because we're gonna be doing red lips. So I'm gonna go in with this red lip stick that I freaking love. Guys, I really forgot the name of this brand right now. But if you know, I'm going to try to find it and put it in the description down below. When I do red lips, I love lining them before because I feel like you have to do it so perfect that liners just work that way and then you could just fill it in with a red lipstick. You really can manifest anything you want. And if the circumstances are not allowing it, God is going to find a way, baby. If it's meant to happen in your life, trust me, one way or another, it's going to happen. This is the final look. Just something simple, easy, but very glam, very sexy. I love a red lip with just like the smoothest eye ever. Because the red lip by itself, it's just like such a statement piece. Let me know how you like this new episode. I feel like little by little, I'm just going to get more comfortable and more comfortable doing this. And I'll like learn what works for me. But I've had so much fun doing this episode. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching the Get Ready With Me podcast. I can't wait to see who we are in like 10 years from now because I know we're going to be in amazing, amazing places and we're going to be looking back at this whole journey. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. I'll see you guys next week.